Hi, it's Sarah with Living Fully Over 40, and today I'm going to share some easy, great tasting meals that my family uses that are also really fast and that the kids will eat. So, one of our favorite meals is actually spaghetti with meat sauce, and what we like to do is use some butter to make sure that the pan is lined and so that your meat doesn't stick and doesn't get burnt. And I really like to use turkey sausage because of the flavor. And I know it's probably not the healthiest thing, but in my mind, it's a little healthier than other options. I use the spaghetti sauce seasoning. You don't have to use that particular packet, there are a lot of different options. So I use it as the seasoning for the meat. I make sure that I get all of that in there, let the meat simmer in that seasoning. You want to make sure your meat is nice and browned before you add in the tomato sauce because you want to make sure it's really well cooked, especially with something like turkey sausage or beef, right? So you can change out the turkey sausage with beef, you can change out the turkey sausage with ground turkey. All of them work really well together. Of course, you want to cook your spaghetti noodles. So that can be regular spaghetti, that can be whole wheat spaghetti, that can be chickpea spaghetti or veggie spaghetti. And then we add in just a can of tomato sauce to the meat to make our meat sauce. I like to add in about a quarter to a half cup of water just to make sure that everything blends really well, nothing burns, everything cooks evenly. You can add onions if you like. You can add mushrooms to your meat sauce. I tend to have a veggie side just because my kids don't really like to eat the meat sauce with the veggies in it. But you want to make sure that your spaghetti cooks about 10 minutes after it starts boiling. And I like to let the sauce simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes as well to make sure all the flavors get in there. And the kids love this, and I do too, so we recommend this spaghetti and meat sauce. One of our next favorite meals is chicken stir fry. As you can see, I'm letting the butter act as the base again. I just put a little bit in, just enough that the meat doesn't stick. I like to use chicken. You can use beef as well in this one, but chicken just seems to be a little bit more flavorful. And then I like shelled edamame. And then there's actually just these frozen stir fry pre-mixed veggie packages you can get at the store. So when I put my chicken in, of course I want to season it. I like seasoning and salt. I use Landry's. You can use whatever you like. Ginger is important in my opinion. It definitely adds some flavor. So I always tend to season my meat first because it, to me, gives a little bit more flavor. Once the meat's starting to cook up really well, then I'll put in the veggies. So here we've got the shelled edamame. Again, this is just frozen. These are all in the frozen section of your supermarket, which makes it super easy. Put everything in there. Again, love these one pot meals. I add a little extra broccoli because the kids really love fresh broccoli. But I'm also going to make sure I season my veggies. We really, really like seasoning in our house. Then I also, see, this is the fresh broccoli here. Just put it in there so that it has a little bit more of that fresh broccoli taste to it as well. Then the other things that we're going to add, I really like teriyaki. Super easy, just pour it over everything. And then I also like to put in soy sauce. I like the low sodium soy sauce. These are the brands I use, then I just get the great value. But if there's something else you prefer, of course you can put that in there. And then I just cover this and let it simmer. Usually, if you're talking about fresh broccoli, once your meat's already been cooked up, you're only looking at about maybe 15 minutes for that broccoli to be cooked through and your frozen veggies to really cook up as well. So this is a great easy meal as well. So the last one on our list is roast. I like beef roast, but you can really do this with either beef roast or pork. And I love my slow cooker for this. So I'll put in potatoes. We use red, use whatever you like. I like baby carrots because I don't have to peel them. I do not have to cut them. And then as you saw, there was the pre-packaged, already cut beef that I really like to use. So there's the beef stew seasoning, super easy. Again, there's so many varieties of this. Again, I put it on the meat first so that it really cooks in. I like to put in about a half a cup of water so that it doesn't burn, and then I set it to high for 4 hours, and this is delicious. We love it. I hope you love these meals, and let me know if there are any more that you have that you really enjoy. Please comment below, like, and subscribe.